John 14. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know.
It's about time, man, because I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to get the kingdom. I'm ready to live. I'm ready to breathe fresh. I'm ready to have beautiful, pure women, okay? Not no strawberry harlots on this side. Ready to have children, man, you can vibe with, okay? Be around brothers. Be around the Lord himself, okay? I'm ready to go and visit places in the galaxy that we didn't know exist, all right? I'm ready to walk on sandy beaches, man, and explore the ocean floors. I'm ready to fly, okay? I'm ready to eat real food, okay? I'm ready to drive a chariot, man. All right, I'm ready to minister to the Lord and to be ministered to, man. Okay, I'm ready to worship Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in its full entirety. Okay, I'm ready for it. We're ready, man. I'm ready to see angels and greet angels.
A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothed the grass, which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after. And your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather, seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
We're fighting for a kingdom. We're not going through what we're going through just for the hell of it. We're fighting for a kingdom. We're fighting for everlasting life. We're fighting for righteousness to rule once again on the earth. We're fighting for our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, to set things back up in the proper order.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful like out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful like the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right. And what I want to get into today, all right, in the news, more pieces, being moved, all right, to fulfill prophecy. There's a few things going on that I want to get into, because at the end of the day, all right, prophecy is always going to be, okay, in the headlines. Matter of fact, if a brother could post, I'm going to queue up a few videos, but yeah, brothers could, all right, post, Second Ezra 15, chapters 1 through 3, and then we'll get into some of these videos, all right, and just discuss, things that are going on because, the world is full of distractions. The masses are concerned with things, all right, that don't mean nothing. Everyone's, distracted. Everyone's full of themselves, even Israelites, okay, even though the Israelite camps, okay, they putting emphasis on everything except prophecy, all right, but prophecy is our way out of here, man. These things unfolding, okay, is our way out of here, all right. So let me probably have to get it real quick. Just start here with a little prophecy. This is let me see. Okay, brother, got it. I know some brothers be at work. Yep, the water Akia. It's the brother on the Bala. All right. GMS version out of the straight gate. Second Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Okay. And while you have, these other groups so concerned with, these gatherings of our people, well, this is the gathering. Okay. This small sanctuary that the Lord is dealing with. And we go into the prophecies, man. Things that are happening in real time. Okay, because the prophecy is our clock. And this is a commandment. Everyone talks about the laws, the statutes, the commandments. Well, we're commanded to speak to the people the words of prophecy, man. Okay, all these 13 shirts. Okay, but your congregation doesn't have a clue what's going on. Okay. Second Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. All right, and cause them to be, all right, verse 2, written in paper, which is in the scriptures, for they are faithful and true. These things are gonna come to pass, man. As we did the lesson earlier, the Spirit had me and the brother Yahweh to do the lesson earlier about how Yahweh Shai, is going to bring back paradise. Okay. And before that happens, okay, there's things that's going to happen before that. There's a build up to Yahweh Shai bringing back the paradise, man. Okay. So we keep track of these things because we're heavily invested, okay, in prophecy, man. Prophecy is where we win. Okay. These devils lose. See, these devils are scrambling, trying to offset prophecy, man. But all they can do is fulfill. Okay, that's another thing. Prophecy is a faith booster because we see that no matter what angle these devils take, all they can do is fulfill prophecy, man. Okay, this second Ezra 15:3 says, "Fear not the imagination, all right, against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, man." And incredulity goes into the unbelief. Which the masses of our people are not going to believe. As you had some pastor, talking about we should thank Esau for the blue letter and all these. And you had the other Jake, the whack ass comedian, all right, and then you had the other guy, trying to summarize the camps up and say we GMS is only famous, for the grape doctrine. And it's like, okay, all right, and that represents our people, man. Okay, a people of no faith, a people that's blind. All right, and this is why prophecy is just gonna knock niggas' teeth down their throat, man. Okay, and good riddance to you niggas, man. All right, so let's get this. And the brother, if a brother could, I'm trying to think what precepts will go good with this video. Let's get second Ezra 16 verses 21 and 22. Um, let's get Isaiah 19. Let's see. Go ahead, have them queued up. Let's get Isaiah 19 and Fine, let's get the book Isaiah. I believe it's 15. Let's get Isaiah 19 and 15. You know, any precept dealing with the economy crash. This place collapsing. All right, but so the breaking news. Saudi Arabia joins the CBDC. Now, what Saudi Arabia? What we have to understand, Saudi Arabia was the thing that kept the American dollar, alive. All right, when it came off the gold standard, because a lot of nations, started to back away from the dollar because it wasn't backed by anything. All right, but then you had this devil Henry Kissinger, pretty much strike up a deal with the Saudis, that America would aid them militarily if they only sold their oil, all right, in the dollar. That's where you get the term, all right, petrodollar, okay, because of the deal in the 70s that Henry Kissinger struck up, all right, with the Saudis, all right, on behalf of America, and that gave the dollar, just incredible strength, because the majority of the earth, had to deal with Saudi Arabia and getting oil, which means that all these nations had to have the dollar in reserve, so that created a high demand for the dollar, okay? And a lot of global trade was done in the dollar, okay, because of its liquidity, okay. So what Saudi is doing now, they're starting to, all right, sell their oil in other currencies. They're still using the dollar, okay, but they're starting to sell their oil in other currencies, which is going to lessen the demand for the American dollar. Now we're gonna let this play and expound on some more, all right. But just want to sum that up, all right. Like I said, if you want to look into it, just look into Henry Kissinger. Okay, petrodollar deal, kind of give you the history on the dollar and how we got to this point, you know. But I'm gonna let it play. All right, we get some precepts, Lord will. Um,
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was announced that Saudi Arabia joined a CBDC project, Ambridge, which is a massive, truly massive experiment that is led by the Bank for International Settlements. Saudi Arabia is moving full steam ahead. It is joining Project Ambridge as a full participant after being an observing member. One important feature is Ambridge does not support US dollar payments. And while there appear to be many speculations that this move will end the petrodollar as we know it, I'm actually of the opinion that it has very little, if any, connection to the petrodollar, or in other words, to the use of the United States dollar for crude oil settlements between Saudi Arabia and its partners. And I will tell you why in just a minute. But first, let's go over the details of the announcement. As you may already know, Project Ambridge is blockchain based. It was launched about 3 years ago, back in 2021. Effectively, it is a potential alternative to the SWIFT payment messaging system. And it is effectively a collaboration between 6 participating central banks.
so when you hear about the SWIFT bank system, okay, there's pretty much an American bank that's like the middleman, to global trade, okay. And what happens is when these nations do trade in the dollar, they have to go through these American banks, and America has the ability, to freeze those assets. When they put sanctions on Iran and on Russia and on different nations, where all the money, that's in those American banks, okay, they can freeze it. Okay, just like with the latest with Russia, Russia had 300 billion in the SWIFT bank, and America froze it, okay, due to sanctions, and they started using that 300 billion to fund Ukraine to fight against Russia, man. So these nations like, look, what's the point of doing deal in the dollar, okay, if they can just freeze it whenever they feel some type of way, okay? America just had too much power and too much leverage, okay, with their dollar, man. They weaponized it, and ultimately we know the elites, are behind the BRICS. So BRICS is a alternate banking system, okay, outside of the dollar. Now, what we don't have to understand, when the dollar falls, everything is going to fall because everything is attached. All right, all these currencies are attached to the dollar. Okay, so it's not going to be the dollar crashing and these other nations are still functioning. All right, with with their currencies. Okay, because the end game is a one world global digital currency, which we're gonna get into it. With just to sum that up. All right, so let's let it play some more.
And the central bank for all global central banks, the Bank for International Settlements. I have an entire video on this unique entity. If you're interested to learn more about it and how it came about and how it functions, I will link that video in the description below. Project mBridge is blockchain based, as I mentioned, and it uses the mBridge ledger to operate. This is a truly massive project that is being supported by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, the World Bank, as well as observed by central banks of South Korea, Turkey, and Norway. So those countries may potentially become full members as well, and I certainly expect them to become full members at some point later this year. Besides these powerful entities I just mentioned, private banks such as HSBC, Goldman, and China-based private financial firms are also participating in this experiment. As you can see, it's not surprising that the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia made it public that it is collaborating with the central banks of Hong Kong, the UAE, China, and Thailand to help develop a central bank digital currency that would be used for trade settlements. Therefore, it is a wholesale.
So you hear that, what they're using? All right. So it's not, all right, like these other nations, are going to start to operate outside the dollar. Like it's going to be a smooth transition. No, it's going to be a collapse. All right. And it's an intentional collapse. All right. And these nations are just jumping on board, all right, with the next wave. All right, because they know, because the higher ups of these nations know that the elites are transitioning, all right, to their digital currency. Okay, so all these nations are just jumping on board, and the digital currency is going to be monitored, okay, and operational by the device which is known as the MOTB, the Charagma, in Revelation 13 and 16. Okay, but let me just so we can hear what she says again. What currency, okay, is BRICS going to use? Okay.
Of Hong Kong, the UAE, China, and Arabia made it public that it is collaborating with the central banks of Hong Kong, the UAE, China, and Thailand to help develop a central bank digital currency that would be used for trade settlements. Therefore, it is a wholesale CBDC that they're working on. mBridge is going to facilitate cross-border trade, which is the main driver of Saudi economy. Saudi Arabia is first and foremost interested in increasing its crude oil sales as well as attracting foreign direct investments to help it achieve its Vision 20.
Are you looking for an easy way to view and manage your mail and packages from anywhere 24/7? Well, at iPost
30. So does joining mBridge mean an end to the petrodollar? That is the big question. In my opinion, absolutely not. And it means an end to an illusion, rather, that the launch of a central bank digital currency is light years away. It's certainly not the case. It's going to happen sooner than we think. And in this particular case, a wholesale CBDC has no implication on individuals, but it is safe to assume that retail CBDCs will follow shortly thereafter. The strength of the petrodollar depends on crude oil trade being denominated in United States dollars. The fact that China, the biggest oil importer in the entire world, and Saudi Arabia have already started trading using the renminbi certainly weakens the dollar because now there is less demand for it. Nevertheless, let's be realists. Saudi Arabia will continue settling transactions in United States dollars with its Western and regional partners. It will do both, and it will benefit from it tremendously. And whether it is using a CBDC, the digital dollar, or its, let's say, traditional version, that has absolutely no implication, no impact on the petrodollar itself. Here's why this move benefits Saudi Arabia. A crucial part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030
Yeah, you have that, going on. All right, which like I say, the BRICS banking system, is not going to survive, okay, without the U.S. dollar, okay. So we're going to see, we could see some inflation. There could be something that happens because the demand of the dollar is going to diminish, but it's going to destroy the dollar overnight. Nah, that's not going to happen. All right, but we could see, some inflation. All right, we could see, all right, the effects, of shipping. Okay, different nations. All right, starting to operate more independently and not just depend on the American dollar so much. So let's get a few precepts. What is all matter of fact, before we get the precepts, all right, because this is just the elite's way of segueing into their digital currency, because they're gonna crash it all. Okay, the American economy is not gonna crash by itself. Okay, the American economy is not gonna crash, and they're gonna be in Beijing still eating noodles, with chopsticks. No, all right, they're gonna catch pure hell too. Their whole economy is gonna collapse with it. Okay, America just gonna catch it the worst. Okay, it says, will BRICS have a digital currency? This is an article on Nasdaq.com. It said BRICS nations do not, as of yet, have their own specific digital currency, but a BRICS blockchain-based payment system is in the works, according to the Kremlin aide Yuri Yushakov in March 2024. Known as the BRICS Bridge, all right, multi-side payment platform, it will connect member countries' financial system using payment gateways for settlements in central bank digital currency, CBDCs. Okay, this is just a segue to a global currency. This is what we're seeing. All right, Turkey, is joining on with the BRICS. Taiwan, all these nations are jumping on the BRICS bandwagon, but they're just piling up. All right, to transition into a central bank digital currency, a global one. Okay, and in this new world order infrastructure, America is not a superpower. All right, so America is being purposely weakened. Okay, and America is going to completely collapse. All right, that's why you get this here. It's the brother GMS Alak Yasha'Allah. 2nd Ezra 16:21 said, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay? And see, people think that they're in a good case. All right? You look at the mindset of the masses, all right, and it's lackadaisical. Everybody still have this festive, wasteful spirit here in America. Okay? They have no clue about the evils that's growing on the earth. No one's paying attention to these moves being made to pull this rug of convenience right away from under them, man. Okay, this condition of abundance. Okay, that the Americans have had to enjoy for so long, it's finna come to a crashing in. All right, and that's when you're gonna see it get violent, because Americans are only gonna get violent, okay, when their convenience is snatched away from them. You know, we seen a little, sneak peek of it when they had the clampdowns, all right, and you seen domestic violence go up, domestic killings go up, because folks was agitated because they didn't have, their convenience. Okay, so we're going to see an uptick, all right, in the chaos when this thing comes crashing. Okay, 2nd Ezra 16:22 said, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." Because the dollar crashing, okay, ultimately the global economy crashing is going to turn to, that's when it's going to be shit hits the fan, on another level. Okay, scriptures speak about, neighbors invading each other for lack of bread. Well, why is there going to be a lack? Is there going to be no more food in the earth? No, it's just going to be no more access to food. Okay, because there's going to be there's when they reset, okay, this banking system, there's going to be no way to buy and sell. Okay, and then they're going to come with the solution to buy and sell, and it's going to be their device. All right, let's get this. It's the brother GMS Nabala, or Slack GMS Virgin Island Straight Gate, the brother Nabala. Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Okay, because it's all going to collapse. Okay, it's all going to collapse, man. All right, these careers that you people love. All right, there's a lot of industries that they plan on doing away with too with the AI. So hey, they only have bad news, okay, for you citizens, man. Okay, you Americans that got, you think Trump is going to be this great white, savior, okay, for the American society, American tradition. Nah, man. Okay, it's only bad news. All right, as the scriptures say, evil and only evil. I think that's Ezekiel. If a brother can post that, I think that's Ezekiel 5th chapter, maybe the 5th or the 7th. Okay, well, let's get this. This the brother. Psalm 72, Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. All right, but the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, but it will surely come. It will not tarry, man. And what we're seeing is just these pieces being put in place for the complete collapse, all right, of society in every way. All right, and when this place collapses, all right, these pampered, all right, spoiled, okay, demonic Americans are going to lose it and get extremely violent, man. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 12:3 says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows, all right, be darkened." All right, so the keepers of the house, all right, these economists, because only the higher ups really know what's happening, man. Okay, you got a lot of millionaires that's not, because when you talk about super rich, we talking about them billionaire boys and on up. And even all of them are not, with the inner workings of what's going on top. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of wealthy people, okay, that's going to be affected heavily by this, man. Okay, because the strong men going into the men that are strong in wealth shall bow themselves, the grinders shall cease. Okay, because when this thing collapses, man, these industries are going to collapse. Okay, and this is going to be a total attempt to reset this society. Okay, and it is going to be very chaotic, man. Okay, it says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low," and that's the economy, man. Because what makes up the economy, man? Hey, the workers. the laborers, okay? And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all of the daughters of the music shall be brought low, man. All right, we have to go into this trash music, okay, with this society. All right, yep, the brother got it for him. Just the brother, Sean 72, Ezekiel 75. Thus said the Lord, power and evil, and only evil. Okay, behold, it's come. It's only bad news. It's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. Okay, and it's gonna get capped off with the nukes. Okay, that's gonna be the peak of the Lord's anger. All right, but we're just gonna watch this thing get worse and worse and worse, man. Okay, now this is Ezekiel 76. It says, "An end is come, the end is come, and watch it for thee. Behold, it is come." And we're here at the door. We're at the threshold. Okay, we just some events away. All right, for this thing going. All right, to the next phase, man. Okay, so we just watch and wait. All right, and all our chips is on Yahweh Shai, man. So let's go from there. I got a few more. Okay, let's get this real quick. So what we see with Russia, all right, Russia is making, all right, because dealing with Russia and Ukraine, because what's happening now, Ukraine has got permission from NATO and America, all right, and they're getting weaponry from NATO, the West, America, they're getting these different weaponry, missiles. Okay, the other day they did a drone strike in Russia. Okay, so now they're going across the border and striking into Russia. So what we're seeing now is Russia is starting to move pieces all throughout the earth. Okay, for retaliatory purposes, man. All right, so we can see, we can see a little action, man. We know, all right, that the focal is always going to be on small hats, okay, in Iran. That's what's going to jump this thing off, man. Okay, but what we're seeing is pieces being put in place, all right, for retaliatory purposes, all right, from Russia. Okay, because NATO and America, they're getting a little more aggressive. They're getting desperate over there in Ukraine. All right, and they're getting a little desperate in how they're moving. All right, so what we see Russia, all right, under Vladimir Putin, is putting things in place, man. Okay, so let's play this. Okay, quick.
Tonight, new details emerging on the escalating military tensions between the U.S. and Russia. As Pentagon officials game out a response to Russian aggression in Europe, Vladimir Putin is now making some serious moves in the Caribbean. Our Brian Todd is all over the story for us. Give us the latest, Brian.
Wolf, tonight, Putin is on America's doorstep with nuclear-capable bombers that can fly at twice the speed of sound. It's a bold move right out of the Cold War, as the Russian president tries to establish a military foothold near American shores. A Russian bomber with an impressive wingspan touches down at America's doorstep. The Tu-160 has to deploy parachutes to slow down. Russian pilots, decked out in helmets and orange jumpsuits, climb out to a hero's welcome. Two of these bombers, nicknamed Blackjacks, are in Venezuela tonight. Vladimir Putin has deployed these warplanes along with two support aircraft to conduct exercises over the Caribbean with Venezuelan forces. A worrisome development for Washington, considering the capability of the Russian bombers, which can fly twice the speed of sound.
This bomber was designed to do both high altitude and low altitude penetration of airspace with nuclear weapons, to deliver nuclear weapons on target. This aircraft was designed to be an offensive capable weapon to get into our airspace during the Cold War.
The deployment comes on the heels of Putin's recent military aggressions against Ukraine on land and sea. and countermoves by U.S. forces. Analysts say Putin is sending an unmistakable signal to the United States tonight.
He's clearly trying to send a message to the United States that he can play in our backyard and that Russia maintains significant military capabilities.
Another concern tonight is the Cold War-style alliance of two strongmen who are both antagonists of the U.S. Putin and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who visited Moscow just last week. Experts say U.S. military and intelligence officials are closely watching the Putin-Maduro partnership and how it may work against American interests close to American shores.
They have a close military relationship. Russia does provide Venezuela with significant military support. Usually with these close military relationships, a close intelligence relationship is part of that.
The Russian deployment comes as Venezuela is deep in crisis.
All right, so you have Russia, all right, putting, nuclear bombers in Venezuela. Okay. And you best believe they have other hardware down there as well. Okay, so you have that going on. Then you have Russia sending, warships to Cuba. Okay, and you best believe they're going to drop off hardware in Cuba as well. So Russia has a foothold in Cuba and Venezuela. Okay, and they just putting themselves in position, man. Okay, for retaliatory purposes, man. So hey, hey, we gonna see some action, man. When that first domino drop, all right, it's gonna the last domino, America be in the desert. Okay, so let's play this. If a brother can get that Jeremiah, let's get a few. I say Russia is in a very bold spirit. All right, but the Lord has that spirit on Russia, man. All right, the Medes, okay, or Gog and Magog in the spirit. So let's get Isaiah Isaiah chapter 13, verses 17, all right, through 19. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 50, okay, verse 9 and 10. Yeah, let's get Jeremiah chapter 50, verses 9 and 10. And let's jump down to verse 14 and 15, Bob Bishop. So I'm gonna play this, my brothers, get those scriptures posted. Yep, so that's what's happening over here, but also, all right, in that region in the east, okay, Russia is making moves, man. All right, so let's play this.
Taking to uscca.com/maps. From here, you can click on any state and get a
Russia, there is nothing to keep Russia from following suit. And just taking that thought forward, the Russian state TV has come up with a map. It basically looks at countries which, according to the news outlet, are quote-unquote ready to strike our enemies. Which are these countries? Cuba, of course, is on the list. That also happens to be where Russian warships and a nuclear submarine are sailing to. We told you about this developing story as early as last week. Now, Caracas and Cuba are not the only spots on the Russian state TV's map for possible missile deployment. There's also Yemen and North Korea.
Нашей редакции подумали, куда бы могли направиться наши ракеты, в какие дружественные.
All right, so if you see the map, all right, that's in Russian, all right, but you got Syria, you got Yemen, you got North Korea, I think that's Belarus, all right, up here, which is on the border of Poland and Ukraine. All right, you got Cuba, you got Mexico. Okay. Can't see what country that is off top, but you got Venezuela. Okay. So Russia is just putting chess pieces where they need to go. Okay. They this is gonna be a global war. Okay. The battlefield is gonna be the earth. You see? And all we see, well, what we're seeing is pieces being moved. Okay. Let's play some more. Yep. North Korea, Cuba, and Yemen. All right. Iran. Okay. It's gonna be a time when one of them ships gonna try to come through the Red Sea through Yemen, and they ain't gonna be getting hit with them regular, you know, 2 for 20 missiles that Yemen been using. All right. They gonna get hit with that Russian bear coming through Yemen. Okay. Russia is being a guard. All right. You got to fulfill your lot in prophecy, man. On every level. That's why when we see clowns, clowns ain't in prophecy, man. Okay. False prophecy, all niggas, the nigga woman, everybody has their prophecy, man. All right, to fulfill, and everybody is doubling down. Okay.
Юрисдикции.
Слушайте, я думаю, что у Соединенных Штатов Америки в сегодняшнем мире такое количество сторонников, в кавычках, что миллиарды людей были бы счастливы и выстроились бы в очередь за то, чтобы им дали возможность.
He said that people will stand in line to get an opportunity to strike the United States. Damn. And show you that what? Going back to brother can post it, Jeremiah 49 and yep, let's get Jeremiah 49 verses 14 through 16. Let's get that.
По Соединенным Штатам Америки как-нибудь ударить.
Я вот все время, Евгений, думаю, когда мы покажем в передаче здесь карту никуда...
It says a map of where our missiles can strike the... It says a map of where our missiles can strike the U.S. I don't know why they didn't get it translated. Goddamn, wire new, it would be hard around the... Let a little bit of it play.
По нам бьют американские ракеты. А куда наши ракеты могут ударить по Соединенным Штатам на весь мир? Что в зоне, например, досягаемости Анкоридж, Гонолулу, Сиэтл, Сан-Франциско. Почему бы вот им не продемонстрировать вот такую карту? Знаете, как они будут кричать на весь мир, что русские?
Now, like you can see, the last frame there are 8 countries marked on that map: Mexico, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Serbia, Iran, Yemen, and North Korea. The Russian state TV saying these are the 8 countries from where Russia could strike the West and Western assets. The state TV missed out Belarus. Russian missiles, remember, are already deployed there. What's more, Belarus has just said that its army is taking part in the second stage of Russian nuclear exercises. The first phase of this drill took place last month in southern Russia. Belarus's defense minister, Lieutenant General Viktor Krenin, in fact, said that the exercises are meant to increase our readiness to use so-called retaliatory weapons, quote unquote. Adding, I'm quoting further, now more than ever before, we are determined, quote unquote. Now coming back.
And that's the point on that. Yep. And then real quick, let's get that Isaiah 34, I think in 4, because I just seen a visual of what Isaiah, the prophet, seen. All right. Yeah, let's get Isaiah chapter 34, verses 4 and 5. All right. We're going to get into it. But let's get some of these, and then we're gonna get that. All right, so this is let's go to the top, the wire for you brothers posting scripts. This is Jeremiah 50:9 from the brother Gashawn 72. All right, it says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly, okay, of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows, all right, shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." So you go into the word array, it goes into a battle formation. Okay, and you see, all right, that Russia is placing pieces all around America and these Western countries, man. Okay, which is fulfilling prophecy, and it's Russia, backed by China, backed by Iran, backed by India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, North Korea. Okay, and then eventually even the EU nation is going to turn on the whore, man. Okay, and said none shall return in the vain. So the Lord got to where these missiles are going to be pinpoint accurate. Okay, and hit every target, all right, that the Lord desires it to hit. Okay, because the Lord swore by himself that the cities of Basra, aka America, would be a desolation. All right, and we're in the build up to it. Jeremiah 50:10 says, "And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied," said the Lord. Yahweh by Shemal Shai. She's gonna be spoiled with missiles, man. Okay. Jump down to verse 14. It said, "Put yourselves in array," that battle formation. Okay, so we're seeing that battle formation. You know, all the chess pieces being moved in the position that the Lord wants. Okay, it says, "All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord." All right, and that's another thing is that America is just getting more wicked. While all this is happening, America is just constantly drenching itself in more wickedness, man. Constantly making sin a standard. Okay, and the Lord is just setting it up to turn this place and the people in it into a desert. Okay, the Lord is putting pieces in place to create the lake of fire. All right, spoken of in the book of Revelation, man. All right, it says, "She had given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her." Okay, and America has been what a terror to these nations in the earth, man. Okay, and now these nations are going to be a terror to America, man. All right, let's get this here. And the brother got it, Isaiah. Okay, because we see who's at the forefront of making all these moves. Okay, it's Russia, man. Okay, aka the Medes. Okay, aka Magog in the scriptures. All right, prophetically is Isaiah 13:17 said, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." Yeah, so Russia ain't, begging, America to take, to loosen up on the sanctions. Okay, they're not being deterred by the sanctions of the West, that affect their economy. Was really, it has the opposite effect. The Russian economy been booming since the sanctions. Okay, they depend on the dollar less, and it's just all to put them in position, okay, to turn this place to a desert. All right, and Russia's gonna be at the forefront of it. That's why they're stirred up. Okay, they just deploying, missiles and weaponry all throughout the earth. Okay, Isaiah 13:18 said, "The bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children." Okay, yeah, and those bows are speaking about the missiles. The missiles don't have any emotions. Okay, They just gonna lay everything. They're just gonna obliterate everything in their path, man. Okay. And it says in Babylon, which is America, the glory of the kingdoms. Okay, because the elites, made this place, a rich, all right, kingdom. Okay, America, the elites invested in America, man. Okay, made America the centerpiece of their kingdom. All right, says the beauty of the Chaldeans, which is the elites, the warlocks. Okay, excellently shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so this is where this thing is going. All right, and you go here. This is Jeremiah 49:14 says, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador sent unto the heathen, saying, gather you together and come up against her and rise up to the battle. See, the Lord putting spirit on these nations, man, because all these nations are geared up, ready to go. All these nations are geared up to accept Russian weaponry. Okay. All these nations are in agreement that Babylon must go. You see, the source of wickedness in the earth. All right. And everything, all this is working in our favor, man. All this has to happen before that paradise, that we crave, Yahweh Shai, as we await his coming, man. Okay. Jeremiah 49:15 says, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised, all right, among men and insignificant. Okay, you go into the word small, it goes into insignificant, not important, man. Okay, and ultimately in the new world order, all right, framework, America is not the superpower. Okay, America is deeply weakened. Verse 16, all right, is the brother GMS Halak Yasha'Allah. Jeremiah 49:16 said, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart. Okay, because America has been so dominant for so long, and America been so dominant that the EU nations, they just really stopped investing in their military because America, just been kicking ass. America just had the reputation to where they used to speak things and nations just used to, bow down. But now, all right, hey, they don't have it like that anymore. Okay, it says, in the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, said the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay, so this is where we at, man. Well, we're finna see this great empire of wickedness, okay, be brought to naught, be brought to nothing, turned into a complete desert. Okay, just as he destroyed the militaries of Pharaoh, he's gonna do the same thing with America, man, because all these American troops that are deployed throughout the earth, they're gonna be obliterated. Okay, America is going to be America itself is going to be a target. Okay, and American military personnel is going to be a target throughout the earth. And if there's any squirming around by the time Yahweh Shai get back, they done. So America and these heathens, all right, they're finna get their military destroyed, but America's going to get the worst. Okay, now I want to get this because this is a visual, from this video we just looked at. All right, so this is the brother Yahweh, the hopeful elect 3, Isaiah 34:4, and it says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling from the fig tree. Okay, so when Yahweh Shai, returns, man, he's just going to destroy all the militaries of the earth, man. And all these aircrafts, and all these fighter jets, okay, and they're just gonna fall to the earth. Okay, like figs, man. Okay, the nuke's gonna be going off. Okay, so let's go here. This is what I want to get into. This is the point. Verse 5 said, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea." And that sword is speaking of the missile, and it's going to be bathed in the atmosphere, the Shemayim. Okay, and it's going to come down on Idumea, which is America, and upon the people of my curse the judgment. Now, I want to look at this, because this is what Isaiah was seeing. See, our forefathers were seeing these things. The prophets, they were seeing these things, man, and they described it the best way they could. So watch this missile, all right, behind her come out the shallow, and it's going to go straight up, okay, into the atmosphere. So this is in Russia. So guess what? It's going to leave, all right, from Russia, go into the atmosphere, but it's going to come down on Idumea, which is America, man. Okay, so let's let it play.
Now, more than ever before, we are determined, quote unquote. Now, come.
You see, and that's what Isaiah was seeing.
Now, more than ever before, we are determined, quote unquote. Now,
that's what Isaiah was seeing, and then he had described down the best way he could describe it. Okay, like the scriptures say, these things are faithful and true. Now let's I got one more video I want to go into, because this is what these devils are doing, with the food supply. All right, so I got one more. All right, these devils are sabotaging the food supply, okay, to create that famine, man. Okay, I think that's in Ezekiel. Okay, we can Ezekiel, the 4th chapter. I think 2nd Esdras 15 and get 2nd Esdras 15 verses 5 through 7, I believe. But I think that's let's see. Let me cue it up. Yeah, I believe that's Isaiah, not Isaiah, 2nd Esdras 15 verses 5 through 7, and there's another one I just had on top of my head. We'll get it, probably come back to me while this video playing. But Ezekiel 4. Yeah. Ezekiel 4. In the last couple of verses. Yeah, let's get Ezekiel 4 verses 16 and 17. Yeah, let's get that, Bob Gashai. Ezekiel chapter 4 verses 16 and 17. So I'm gonna let this play, man. Look at what these devils doing. I think this out here in Idaho. All right, but this farmer, he's gonna go into it,
You would think is a state that doesn't play these kind of games. This is no doubt done under some environmental bullcrap. And they're also pushing states to carry out terrorism sabotage operations as well. Let me give you an example of that. So I've got a video here. I'll play about 3 or 4 minutes. This is from Yanasa TV on YouTube. Idaho shuts down farmers. So Idaho, the government of Idaho, is shutting down the water supply to 500,000 acres of farmland in Idaho. This is no doubt being done under some environmental bullcrap. And these farms are all going to fail This is a direct assault on the food supply in Idaho, which you would think is a state that doesn't play these kind of games. But apparently Idaho is taking orders from Oregon and Washington and California. So check out this video. It's highly disturbing. Check this out.
On May 31st, Idaho Department of Water Resources Director Matthew Weaver issued a curtailment order for 6 groundwater districts. Is that a big deal?
It's estimated that about 500,000 acres are subject to curtailment, which is half of all the groundwater acres in the eastern Snake River Plain. So for many reasons, that's a very big deal.
Good morning, friends. Welcome back to As a Man Thinketh on Yanasa TV. So today I wanted to talk about what's going on in Idaho, because some of you have probably heard about this, but the state of Idaho has put a water curtailment order, which is basically a water shutoff order on literally 500,000 acres of farmland. That's a lot of potatoes. A lot of these farmers, this impacts about 6,400 water users, but a lot of these farmers that are farming this land have already invested thousands of acres, thousands of dollars per acre to grow potatoes.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Trevor Belknap. I operate a family farm, a 5th-generation family farm in the Snake River Valley of eastern Idaho. I just wanted to visit with you for a minute about the impacts of the water curtailment order that's been issued by Director Weaver from the Idaho Department of Water Resources. The situation in which we find ourselves is about as bad as it gets. Not only will we be out of business, many other businesses will be highly impacted, and you, as my friends and neighbors, will also be impacted because we're so interconnected. If the ag economy in eastern Idaho fails, which it surely will if this curtailment order is in place, it can remain in place, will dry up and blow away, just like it did back in the Dust Bowl of the 30s. Banks will fail, equipment dealers, car dealers, gas stations, grocery stores, all rely on the ag economy that's here in eastern Idaho. The children in our schools, how many of them belong to families who work in some form of ag industry in eastern Idaho? It's horrible, and we need to fix it. And I would propose to you that it is not a water problem, it's a management problem, because we have water. Reservoirs are full. The mountains are covered in snow. The river's been flowing well. So why now? Why, after we've planted our crops, we have crops in the ground that are already growing, now in the middle of June, they pull a curtailment order to say, you must cease pumping water.
So as you can tell, it's orchestrated. You know, they waited till they planted. You know, they waited till the time when, you know, of watering, okay, so they can reap a harvest, all right? And then they were like, look, you know, don't pump any more water, you know? So it's a sabotage. And like I say, agriculture is going to have a major ripple effect, okay? Because, you know, the agricultural economy, you gotta think only 3% of the American population that's what make up the agriculture economy. The agriculture industry is 3% of the American population. Okay, so that's very fragile. You see, and what they're doing with tampering with these things is just another way, all right, to create shortages, these fabricated shortages, man. All right, and this is the devil. And see why niggas is saying, see, GMS, they're famous for the grape doctrine. Well, look what these, you niggas just wait, man. You know, you niggas just wait, man. Okay, the devil is being the devil real time, and all nigga Christians are worried about is the black Hebrew Israelites that's warning your dumb ass about what they doing. Okay, because you don't talk about it. Okay, but everybody in their role, man. You know, everybody playing their part. So let a little bit more of this play. We get a few precepts.
The cost is huge. An acre of potatoes costs upward of $4,000 an acre to grow. How will that ever be recovered? They will not grow without water. And what will that do to everyone else that's reliant upon us in this area and the state of Idaho? What will the counties do for roads and bridges, police departments, ambulances, hospitals that rely on the tax base? Property like this will become worthless. Without water, the land doesn't have any value here. What will they do? We need to consider these things, and we need to talk to our elected officials. We need to call them now and push on them to find a workable solution, a compromise that will allow businesses like ours to continue to progress and grow and succeed in the Snake River Valley, and allow those in the southern part of the state to also continue to go. We need to work together to find a common solution, or we're all going to fail.
And what do you think about that?
So yeah, man, there's a lot of wickedness, okay, in the making. Okay, all these pieces are being put together, man. To their first domino drop, all of them gonna drop. All right. So yeah, let's get it. All right, this is the brother, the hopeful leg 3. Let's see, second Esdras. All right, 15:5 said, "Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword." All right, which you're gonna have, civil unrest leading all the way up into the nuclear destruction. Okay, all this under the umbrella of the sword. Okay, violence. All right, on every level, from the handgun, okay, to nuclear. Okay, that's what the Lord is bringing in the world. Famine. All right, as we seeing this being prepped, and all these are instruments of what? Death and destruction. Okay, verse 6 it says, "For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are filled." And like we say, we look out in this society, and wickedness is just constantly being normalized. Okay, and each generation gets worse. Okay, each generation is getting worse, and we live in a generation where a generation that's already cooked. Okay, it has produced another. They done produced another generation, man. Okay, 5-year-old singing Pound Town. Okay, the matriarchy is just destroying. Okay, the children, especially these little boys, they're getting worse. Okay, this batch, if this place was to go on, all right, this batch, from the matriarch factory would be sweeter than this batch. Okay, these boys coming out now, okay, are through. All right, they're being enchanted. A lot of the mothers are bugged out. Okay, if they survive the wound, and then if they survive the wound, okay, they're around madness. The stud friends, and the alphabet friends, and random niggas. So it's get worse. Okay, it only gets worse. You see, you can look at I don't know if y'all been seeing these graduations on TikTok. I was gonna do a lesson on all these fights and shooting at these graduations, man. But this is the next batch of niggas that's gonna be just roaming around the earth, just roaming around America, man. Okay, this is the next batch of niggas that's on the way. All right, and them niggas, the nigga gonna have the gun with the extended clip, the Hellcats. It's like these niggas cry about poverty, but where are all these guns and Hellcats coming from? You be like, goddamn, But this is the, looking at these graduation, I'm like, this is the next batch of niggas that's finna be turned loose on society, man. Okay, so it's just getting worse. All right, it says, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. Everyone, is pretty much fulfilling their lot. And it's going to get to a point where the Lord is just going to intervene and cut wickedness off, man. Okay, it said, therefore, said the Lord, verse 16, and it says, moreover, he said unto them, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, okay, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, man. You see all this surplus, and the woman talking about, well, she don't go on first dates and all this. See, the Lord finna bust all this up, man. Okay, the Lord finna bust all this pride, this surplus, this abundance, this, everybody's celebrity. Nah, man, he finna starve a lot of people to death. Okay, especially here in America, man. Okay, verse 17, it said that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity, man. Okay, the Lord is going to torture people with famine because of iniquity. Okay, verse 8, it says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things. All right, and that's why he has the prophets speaking against these things, man. Okay, we're not here to have a picnic with you niggas. The last thing you niggas need is another plate. And the Lord finna cut off all picnics, man. You community Israelites. Okay, the Lord finna cut off all the picnics and fish fries, man. Okay, that's the last thing a nigga needs is another plate, man. All right, the Lord wants repentance. He wants a contrite heart. Okay, he wants his son to be acknowledged through our conduct, man. Okay. And so the prophet's not here to wine and dine you in the flesh, man. We here to feed our people in the spirit before the judgment comes, man. Okay. He says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves, man. So the Lord is fed up with you niggas, man. Okay? And he's just finna bring great judgment, man. Okay? So all the pieces are being put in place, man. So that's the point. I just want to get into that. All right. Things I was watching, today, different brothers, going to different things. So Lord will, you was edified. We here, just a thing of, when, there's no if, when it comes to prophecy, just a thing of when, so we watch and report, hey, until we can't, you see. So, Lord will, you was edified. Till next time I say Shalom, Kwame Mashallah, a Bible ball soon, Shalom.